All right, appreciate all of you coming out today. Cougar Baseball 2014, it's a team I'm really excited about. You know, I thought last year we turned a corner. I think we had the second or third largest turnaround in the country in college baseball, 36 wins. Had a team, and the team also felt that, you know, it was an NCAA-worthy team. We were a bubble team at the end of the season. It just didn't work out for us, but, you know, you learn from the past. I think going forward, it's a motivation for our ball club this year. To be one of those 64 teams in the NCAA tournament. You're talking about a program in the University of Houston that has a great amount of tradition as far as wins, you know, professional baseball, major league players. So, you know, it's something this team is determined to get us back on track and get us in the NCAA tournament. That's the ultimate goal. We'd love to win the American Athletic Conference. I'm excited about being a new member of that league, but the ultimate goal for us is to play an NCAA tournament and compete to go to Omaha every year. You know, this year's team, kind of the theme for me, and I think our strength is our returners. This is the first year since coming back in 2010 that we have more returners than we do newcomers in our program. So, you know, it's been a slow and steady process as far as building the team, but from a position player standpoint, I don't think in 18-plus years of coaching college baseball, I've never had a team that returns every offensive starter. And we have all 9 of those guys back that started for us last year. Plus, you add to the mix Casey Grayson and Jake Lewinberg, who, you know, Casey was projected going the season last year to be our first baseman, hit the 3-hole. Lewinberg was going to, you know, hit fifth and play right field or DH, and those guys, we missed them all year for injury. But what seemed like a negative at that time ended up being a positive in the fact that we were able to start 5, sometimes 7 freshmen every time out last year. You know, Justin Montemayor, who ended up being the freshman of the year in Conference USA, got the opportunity to play due to the injury to Grayson. So, you know, what was a negative at the time ended up being a positive. We have a team coming back with a lot of experience in the lineup, and we get those 2 players back this year coming off the medical redshirt. So, from a pitching standpoint, Jake Lemoyne, Aaron Garza, Chase Wellbrock, a few others that return. I'm really excited about our returning pitching and our weekend rotation. It's still a little unsettled as who's going to pitch what day. You'll see a combination on Friday and Saturday of Lemoyne and Garza, and more than likely see West on Sunday or that Tuesday. We'll fill in the blanks kind of after we get through the first weekend. You know, the bullpen, I think, is going to be our strength with the depth that we have back in our pen. Chase Wellbrock was outstanding at the back end of games last year. I think we only gave up 1 run after the 7th inning last year, so he's a formidable guy at the back end of a game. You know, and you add into the mix, you know, returner Tyler Ford from the left side, a couple of junior college transfers, namely Jared Robinson from Midland Junior College, Taylor Cobb, who's coming off injury, who I think is going to help us there before we get him in the starting rotation, and numerous others. So, you know, this pitching staff has a lot more depth than we've had in the past. You know, we've kind of had to string this thing together for a couple of years due to injury, due to losing a few players to the draft before they come to school. So, you know, what may not be, you know, I think is going to be a good weekend rotation. I think we have options there in the middle. You know, back to the position player side of the ball, you know, we're returning so many players. We have a lot of options from righty-lefty matchups. Our outfield is where most of that's going to take place. You know, you got combinations of Pyatt, who's been a great player here for a couple of years, Appling, who's been a staple in center field. Jake Lewinberg's back in the mix, Kyle Servants, Ashford Fulmer. You know, you could see any combination of those guys in a lineup on any given day, giving us the lefty-righty matchups. In the infield, Caleb Barker will be back behind home plate. We have moved Montemayor from first base over to third, and that transition's gone very seamless for him. I'm really excited with his range and his ability to play third over there. And, of course, the 2 guys up the middle, and Josh Vidales and Frankie Ratcliffe, I think might be the best double play combination in the country. So, you know, I'm really excited. The team's excited. We're looking forward to get going Friday night, and then as we get into our schedule, you know, of course, we have the Classic over at Minute Maid. That's going to be another great tournament for us. We're playing another tournament out in California against USC, UCLA, and Pepperdine. So our home schedule, road schedule should set us up well for postseason play and going into the American Athletic Conference, which, you know, a lot of folks have asked me about the American and you know, how competitive it's going to be, and it's a really good league. I can see this league getting anywhere from 2 to 4 teams in, depending on how it all shakes out at the end of the day. But, you know, you've got Louisville, who's the front runner right now, coming off a trip to Omaha, and they're top 10 in a couple of polls that are out there. UConn's been to a couple of super regionals the last few years. opponents that we're familiar with. Central Florida's been a great team in Conference USA. Memphis has had a really good team last year, and they do a great job there. South Florida was leading the Big East most of the season last year. Cincinnati has a new coach who comes from Indiana who's going to do a tremendous job there. So, up and down the league, it's going to be just as Conference USA was. It'll be very balanced. It's anybody can win it. It's not a 1 or 2 or 3 horse race. It literally from top to bottom is going to be very competitive. So, that's kind of the rundown on this year's ball club. Like I said, I'm really excited for the returning players. I think that it will be the strength of our program, and the fact that they have a little something to prove this year, and hopefully we'll take the field on Friday night and have a little bit of edge to us and carry that through the season.
So much of the offseason was spent on the field. As far as batters go, who do you look at to have a good season, breakout season?
As far as our lineup, I think when you go through our lineup, and I noticed this and really paid attention to it when we were filling out the all-conference ballots prior to the season, I think we have an all-conference player at every position. Now, whether they perform that way or not, we'll see. But I think we have a strong player at every position. Position by position, I'll put any of my guys up against anything in the country. The whole key to the whole thing is who performs. Whether we can get it out of them, whether they, have a good year, whether they continue to build on what they did last year, or guys that maybe had a subpar last year and then come through this year. But I feel good about, I have 11 or 12 guys in our lineup that I feel good about putting in the lineup every single day.
As far as having Grayson and Lewinberg back, how much freedom does that give you in building lineups?
Well, we are left-handed heavy, which I like. Of course, I don't like it against Nicholls State. They're throwing two lefties against us. But that'll give us a chance to kind of flip-flop the lineup throughout the weekend. But, it does add – it's just more options. And options are always good, especially when it comes to matchups. Well, I think we're more athletic at third than we've been the previous 3 years. I think third base has been a sore spot for us. It's something we put a lot of emphasis on, having him make that transition. And to this point, it's been seamless. He's played great over there. He's had a great fall. Preseason's gone really well. It's a different side. It's different angles. It's a different throw. But he seemed to have picked it up fine. And I think, a lot when you're talking about infield defense, people put a lot of emphasis on the shortstop. But for me, of all the super regional teams, NCAA tournament teams that I've been lucky enough to be a part of, one common theme among them is they've always had a great third baseman. One that can play defense. Because you think about at third base, how many different plays there are. You got the slow roller, you got the bunch, you got the ball down the line, the 6-hole. There's a lot of different type of angles that you have to play. So, and to this point, he's done really well, and that transition has been no problem so far. A little bit of both. I mean, we'll start out lefty-righty. We'll play matchups in the beginning, but if we have somebody who's got a hot hand, whether it's left or right, it's not going to matter. They're going to stay in the lineup. So, there's some competition out there. Like I said, you got 5 or 6 guys that I feel comfortable with playing out there. So once we get rolling in the season, it'll be whoever the hottest bat is, and play defense. Well, I think it'll help us keep our legs underneath us a little bit if we can give guys a spell here and there. But, that's fatigue and things like that catch a team through the season. I don't really buy into that a whole lot. I think you got to take care of your body. It's something I talk to the team about all the time. The way you fuel your body, the way you train in the off season, which we've prepared well for this season. So I don't see that being a problem. I plan on Caleb Barker. I plan on him catching all 56 regular season games and every game in the tournament in the postseason. When you play in professional baseball, you're looking at 150 plus games in the minor leagues and 160 plus games in the big leagues. So, it's mind over matter on a lot of that fatigue stuff. Yeah, mainly, most of the junior college transfers that'll be impact guys for us have been in our pitching staff. Taylor Cobbs is from Blinn Junior College, coming off injury last year at Tommy John surgery at the first of the spring. He's progressed well. We're just kind of taking our time with him. Jared Robinson out of Midland College, a right-handed pitcher. He'll start in the bullpen for us. He's been very effective to this point. So, and there's a host of others that to me, you build your program with high school players, you supplement with junior college players, and you can't live without either one of them. And I think this is as good a junior college crew, especially arms, that we've been able to get in the program to this point.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Going through the fall, we actually, it's one of those things where you're just like, okay, well, we love to practice. So, getting out there, being with your buddies, I mean, you can't ask for anything more other than wanting to get out there and play other teams instead of, hitting off of, the same pitchers over and over in inter squads. And, it kind of gets repetitive, and we just kind of want to get out there and, face another opponent and dominate.
It's good for our team chemistry. Like Coach Whitting said, it's the first year we've had more returners and new guys coming in, so it's good for our chemistry. We know how to play well with each other. We know what everybody can do well, and plus we got all the young guys that were freshmen last year. They come in, they got a little more experience, they got their feet wet last year, and hopefully they can help be leaders as well as more than just the senior class, but also have the sophomores that can step up and help the new guys as well as some of the old guys when they need it. So the experience, we got a good level of experience this year, so hopefully it'll help us propel into the postseason.
Well, they can come out to the field, see our great new turf field, how awesome that is, and then they can see a team that can swing the bats well, play great in the field, and pitch great. So come out to see a great baseball team.